Really? Oh, it looks like falling damage affects armor first before health. Well, I'm really glad that they changed that. That's awesome. That's a good way to fix the problem. So this is a modular build. We'll definitely look over the pieces, but I don't believe this is actually where we were intended to check out. So let's look at it here. I like these bricks. That's almost reminiscent of ogre style. Those would definitely need to be filled in. That doesn't make any sense. Really nice though. Very cool. I see you got the little connector pieces, the wall connection pieces here are all separated and divided up. You got two different types of wall pieces. We've got the one with the rail going across and the one without. I like all of the grass everywhere. Rail going around. Different versions of that connector piece with different kind of parameters. That's nice. Little sloping pieces. Yeah. You know what? It's got a lot of really cool stuff to it. It's got a lot of cool stuff to it. More of the lower kind of ground level pieces. Very cool. All right. So that's cool. So where's the actual label that I searched to get here? Oh well. Pax Novus. Adventure Kettle. There we go. And once that sends, we'll move on over. Giving a personal touch to it. Very cool. Alright. Let's hope I got to the right one this time. I think I did. So we're going to be wrapping up in 45 minutes because I know people want to watch their sports ball, and I have no reason to compete with that. You know, the Evercast show isn't even going to be on today. The sports ball is strong with those folks, so don't even worry about it. We're going to be just wrapping it up. Just going to be a single 2-hour set this time, and then, yeah, you know what? I might pop on and do a little bit here and there in Landmark, but it won't be an official part of content and creations. And you know, actually, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of Landmark history too. So after the Year of EverQuest event, there is a super secret special tour that Tobran, Tanlin, and Kaylest went on. So I got to visit with them. We got a little extra special tour, and part of it, we got to hang out in Dave Georgeson's office for like 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes, just maybe not 30 minutes. We were hanging out in there for a while, chatting it up. It was awesome. And one of the things that he mentioned, though, is that the servers are running stable, but we don't have enough room. We want to spin up more servers, but we can't because it's Super Bowl weekend, and nobody's responding, nobody's answering. So they eventually got more servers up around Tuesday, Wednesday. Not Kupenda, I actually don't. I'm not very starstruck, to be perfectly honest. It's game developers are my peers. They're, you know, some are celebrities, some are super awesome, but ultimately, you know, they're fellow professionals. If I was a physicist, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, I'd be like, oh hey, mad respect, man. So enough about that. Oh yeah, actually, the one last thing I want to say, they did learn their lesson this time and made sure to release H1Z1 not on Super Bowl weekend, so that way they could get more servers up. So let's see. Hey, do you have a voice set up?
Yes, I do.
Awesome that. So, I really like what you've got going. It's definitely a significant improvement from the last time, including, I would say, the kind of reinforcement factor. It looks a lot more ready to get attacked by a dragon than the last time I saw it.
Cool, I'm glad.
There is one sort of an interesting thing I definitely want to bring up. It's just the first detail I saw when I came here, and I know it's going to be nitpicky, but I'm going to mention it anyway. This archway right here, brick generally isn't something that's good to have kind of floating on its own. So unless that archway is carried through to the inside, you know, it kind of seems like it'd be, not that it's necessarily weak and unreinforced, but if it got hit really easily, you know, this part right here might fall out, or this part right here might fall out. Whether or not that's going to affect the structural integrity or not, I don't know. But, you know, just the very first detail, solid stones or like we were saying, concrete, plaster, stucco, those sorts of things might work a little bit better for those sorts of details. But
Yeah, I'm waiting for the new textures to come in, so, because, you know, I'm kind of taken off of Wes's concept drawing where he used kind of that arch that moved around the building, and it kind of wraps around this, this skirt out here. So if you see it come to the side by the fence, and it just kind of wraps around and up.
oh, I like it. Ah, that's really cool. Nice. Oil, not really rusty iron. We aren't going to be seeing too much metal in Kinos. I like what you've done here. This little kind of curved segment coming up, having a little reinforcing chunks underneath it here. These there's definitely, if you wanted, maybe to further embellish on it, having a little bit of whatever this material is actually come up and meet here before you get to the. So that way, this part here looks like it's being held up by basically the base foundation coming up to here. I'm really glad they have the thing where you can see other people's tools in game. That's such a nice feature.
Yes.
I like the little arches in the corners here. The is it intentionally done in kind of a cut way like this, or is it eventually?
Yes.
Okay, I can't remember from the concept art if that's how they did it.
I've had it one way where I had it where it kind of cornered, it would kind of wrap, but then it gave it too much of a circular appearance. And Rosie was, she said she didn't want to see so many circular on it on my previous build, so I kind of notched that a little bit to give it a little bit more definition.
Gotcha. I could actually see an angle being used to resolve it, like a triangle of some sort to cut the space here. Something that flattens it out, bends it the other way.
Gotcha.
You know what I really like about this window is that the inside of the window, the negative space, actually looks like the roof. It's got that kind of witch hat appearance to it. So that's actually a really cool effect going on. Was that intentional?
Yes.
Very cool. Very well done.
Wes mentioned, or Alan mentioned about when the sun shines, having the shadows hit, so you can kind of see it. So when the sun hits on the right sides, you can see those shadows ripple through the build.
Nice. Oh, so I'm seeing maybe a point of concern, and I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. I can see kind of a highlight off some of the stone, and I don't know if that's from an interior light or if that's just the sun.
I think it might be the sun. Let me check. Yeah, I think that's the sun poking through there, but I just filled it in and it's still doing it, so.
Yeah. Don't worry about it then. That's one of those things that's going to be that way until the lighting system gets a full overhaul.
Yeah, because when you get up close, you can't see anymore, so.
Right. Not to worry. I was just looking and it's like, wait a minute, is there a crack there and a light shining through, or is that the sun? No, that's just the sun. Yeah, the little custom banner up there is really nice. So Kinos definitely is using the blue and the gold pattern, right?
I don't know if blue and gold, but that's Hax's color, blue and gold, so I just slapped it on there. When they give us a formal color or final color, then I'll paint it the correct color.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for now, because they kind of presented EverQuest Next Landmark with the blue and gold, I would imagine that maybe had a little bit of connection to at least something in Landmark or in EverQuest Next, but maybe it's not Kinos. We'll see. I don't know if we've seen some of the colors and stuff, but I don't know if they've actually made the final decisions on all the colors and patterns and everything.
Yeah, I don't think they have yet, so that's why I've kind of been stuck with using the colors that we have, and because I would really think that there was a chocolate brick or chocolate stonework, it would be really pretty with the seafoam green rough.
Yeah. Yeah, Beowulf, we're using in-game proximity chat. So we've kind of looked through the interior. Okay, or the exterior rather. One other thing. This is one of those things where the kids like to say, you know, build odd or don't build odd or whatever it is, one way or another. So this connection that you have up here, I think, you're around, right? Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because the proximity is kind of weird. Up here on this rail, I see you've got, you know, the full 3x2 up here, but only a 2x2 here, and it looks kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tinker with that some more. So I don't even know if that's even gonna stay quite yet, or I haven't really quite decided yet.
Gotcha.
Might have to get some micro voxels in there to make it look like they're all the correct size.
Gotcha. You know what? Actually, what's going on is that you've just cut 2 more voxels off from this side than this side. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that already looks a lot more balanced. Very cool. All right. So, one other detail, and this is. Oops, let me turn my tool off here. This is definitely something that more of, I guess, a later in the build sort of thing, especially when we get all the materials and we know what everything's going to look like. But I would say up here, if you could extend these pieces of wood to kind of make a crescent down and reinforce the tile here, maybe even have a couple of beams that go across from them, that would make it just if that's how the roof shingles are going to look, is something kind of segmented or, you know, blocky or bricky or you know, tiled. It makes sense that they would be, you know, more or less reinforced all the way to the edge. Possibly even having, depending on how the style guide looks, having the edge actually covered with the wood to further block the stones in place, block the tiles in place.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if my swoop was too far out or not, so I was just kind of hanging back and seeing what they said. She did mention at the last workshop that the one that I had was too short, but the other one was okay, so I'm just kind of, you know.
Well, I'm going to jump up real quick and let's look at the A-frame again. So it's definitely, I can see how if it wasn't as short or if it wasn't as long, it wouldn't quite communicate the curve, the break, the 1/3, 2/3 factor. So it makes sense to have it as long as you do. I actually like the length of it. I think it works really well for it. Yeah, Leilani, those were lights, you goofball. Hey, Purple, how you doing?
Cool.
Yeah, I think I definitely think getting the wood kind of reinforcing the bottom of those crescents, the overhang there would not only make it look a lot more structured, but I think it will add a lot of nice intricacy when you look up from below.
Okay.
So let's go inside and take a look.
It's pretty neat.
Well, even with that, and even knowing that it isn't final textures, just getting a look at where everything's placed, there's definitely enough windows for, you know, light to be pouring in. This looks like more of the dining room, kitchen sort of area, right?
Yeah, so that's great. I was thinking, my line of thinking was maybe a watchtower, maybe a guard, you know, a desk, you know, a fireplace for the guards could eat, table and chairs, you know. This would be the place if, you know, they need some soldiers out to, or just the watch post.
I gotcha. I would say wherever you're gonna have a cooking space, definitely make sure there's some sort of a window or a vent or something for the smoke and stuff to escape, because we don't really
Right.
we don't using like clean burning electrical components. This is definitely the right use of, even if we get another material, this definitely looks like the correct floor material to use in a place like this. If it's a guard structure, definitely. I like the ladder. I almost want to see a similar ladder maybe on the wall down here, just leaned up against the wall or something, in case somehow this one gets kicked down or damaged or destroyed, that you can get another one up there real quick. Weird things will happen in a battle. That could just be an interesting detail, maybe not, but up to you.
It's cool. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm actually wondering when we'll ever get a proper ladder prop of some sort, or if they're just gonna have us make our own for the next little bit still.
Sure, yeah.
So I like this up here. This looks more of the quarters and residence sort of place of it.
Yep, that was my line of thinking.
The other thing I would say is, if not that, this would be more of the office sort of area where the the business side of thing, where the messengers are sent to deal with all of the sending and receiving of stuff, and that it could go either way, and actually could even be used for both. But it seems like there's more space in the place, so let's go on up and see a little bit further. I guess one other interesting thing I kind of see from it is this window right here. It provides light, but it's definitely not one that people can look out from. If you put another window next to it on the wall here, it might work a little bit better. So that way, if someone wants to take a quick look outside, they have that as an option. For a guard tower, for a guard post, I would imagine visibility is definitely an important sort of thing.
Yeah.
I also like the wood rail that you've got, maybe a foot high on that second floor. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. That's on my list of to do yet.
So if not the second floor, then this floor could definitely be more of the office-y sort of area, or possibly even where the equipment is being stored. So it's a combination of the administrative area, as well as where people would replenish their arrows, get a new blade if theirs got broken or lost in battle, something like that. But it'd be something where you'd actually have to check in with someone and have some requisitions officer or somebody in charge of the area.
Yep.
Cool. This one I could see maybe having less or no windows like you've got already with it, or it could be something where you do have maybe I don't know, maybe not.
I think I want to put one kind of round window up there at the peak behind you, but the one in front's got the banner, so if there's going to be any window, it would probably be on this wall and up high.
Yeah, and actually when I was thinking about it more, I realized, if there was going to be some sort of weird Fey attack on this building where they're trying to steal the equipment, it wouldn't make sense for it to be, towards the back end where the window is, because that's where something would be able to smash and grab and, run real quick. Versus this end, this is, you're gonna smash through the window, and then you've got, that dude to deal with.
The stairs right here, and people are going to hear you if you're smashing through.
Yep.
Especially because if it's right through here, well, this is where the watchtower is. if I can manage not to fall. So, you know, in theory, there'd be guards posted up here. If the window smashed in, they could hear it.
Yep. Be able to get down to it a lot quicker.
Right.
So this is, once again, I know you're not using final textures, but it's one where if this were a final texture, it would have to be kind of reconsidered, just because it's oriented. It looks great along this angle. I love it this way, and I love it along the edge here, but up here you can see it's kind of thrown off.
Right, right.
But that's, you know, that's the sort of thing, if you wanted the this rail here, you could just use the thin, basically the flat painting voxels. So, let's see, one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would recommend maybe making the ladders and the climbing spaces just a couple units wider. Right now, if you wanted to have an ogre come up and, you know, throw spears from the top of this place, it would be a narrow fit. They'd be like, oh man, I gotta turn sideways to get up this damn thing.
Okay.
It's just a little bit wider would help. Also, I would say adding like some sort of a wood trap door of some sort would potentially help. It's pretty nice. I definitely like the work that's gone into it. So one other thing, the roof in there and the roof here, like,
This one needs support.
Yep. Yep. So that's
Yeah, I might have to get Ansgar back out, because he's the one that came out and helped me with the roof. So maybe we can devise some sort of reverse angle to be the support for all this.
yeah. I mean, actually, what you could do is just build it twice as thick. Just copy paste an extra layer on top of it as best as possible, and then the underside you can just paint with the wood planks, and it looks just fine. There you go. Totally awesome. So I'm gonna go back out and take a nice little screenshot of the place here. Was there anything else that you wanted feedback or suggestions on?
Actually, this is great, because I wrote down what you told me, and I'll make those adjustments. And
Very cool. And of course,
I'm glad that you're, this looks really good, so I'm glad you're happy with it.
absolutely. Well, the other thing is I'll have the highlight of this on YouTube, so if you wanted to check back over it, it'll be up and available.
Cool beans.
While you're here, can you mind looking at something for me?
You got it. What you got?
Well, I got a build that I'm working on. It's a dungeon build, and I just would like a second opinion.
Sure. Let me take a screenshot, and then I'll join you for that.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for coming by again, Neuro.
For sure. I'm always happy to give feedback when people are around. It makes it a lot more engaging of a process. adventure kettle. Definitely excited to see what the textured version looks like once we get all those materials in.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. So
Are you
I
gonna?
haven't really been happy with the colors.
Yeah, I mean, what they initially kind of showed, and then what I've been seeing people work with, it seems like it's definitely close, but we're probably going to be able to get a hell of a lot closer. And I would imagine the materials that we're getting are the most cleaned up versions that we've seen thus far, so they might have even better
sure.
resolution and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Very nice. Cool deal. All right.
Thank you very much.
For sure. My pleasure. I will definitely see you next time you need some feedback on it.
All right, great.
Cool deal. All right, Spikes, what you got?
All right. So right down here, not too far from here. It's like it's kind of designed to be like a homage almost to a Zelda dungeon, except I gave it more of an ochre theme to it.
Ah, nice. Shundry, how's it going? Jacob Doe,
I've only
welcome,
got the first
welcome.
floor done so far.
Oh, I didn't say
But,
welcome earlier, but hey, welcome.
Definitely
Sorry.
any feedback. It's gonna have like 5 floors to it.
Very cool. Where'd you end up?
I'm trying to figure out how to do triggering and stuff, which I'm not very good at, because I want to put in here puzzles and stuff, like combination door locks. We have to solve, get the right light pattern here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that stuff is going to be really, really cool. Okay, there's an easy one that you can do. So, you know those puzzles where there's, say, a 4x4 grid, and anytime you touch one of the tiles, it lights up all the tiles, or, you know, all the tiles in proximity to it. It changes them. If they're on, it turns them off. If they're off, it turns them on. And it's one of those puzzles where you basically have to kind of walk the tiles all the way through to turn them all off or turn them all on, and that opens the door. That's actually something that'd be really easy to do in here.
Okay, sort of like the Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade puzzle, where he had to step on and make the name of Jehovah.
You know, I'll have to go back and watch that one again, but maybe something like that. It's basically a sort of thing where you'll walk over them and they'll constantly keep on changing position, but it's also designed in such a way that you can't really jump from tile to tile, because it's usually it's 2D flat RPGs where they'll do something like this, so you don't have the ability to kind of skip spaces.
Okay.
But I don't know. It could be, you know, maybe you just touch things and you don't actually jump on things. But yeah, that sort of puzzle. When we have the ability to push things, that would be, you know, really helpful too. Right now we don't really, you know, have that, so you can't really make weird walls and stuff that, you know, you have to push the stone to get through.
Right.
But anyway, let's actually check it out instead of just theory crafting on ideas.
Pretty much just like it's a jumping puzzle to get to you take like the platforms here.
I gotcha. The timing on these is a little interesting, but I know it's because we can't really change the timing manually on our own yet. Like
Right.
using leaking and triggering. So you've got the Ogrezoidal column here. I was expecting some landmines to be planted in it somewhere.
You think I could bring some landmines on Peace Good on this?
It could be fun just to have one to scare people, but because it doesn't do any deformation, it doesn't. There you go. That's pretty cool. Whoops. I like the use of the ledge grab. You know, I actually wish they would, if we had the ability to make like rising lava, instead of having it go all the way down here, that you have it end at the top because, you know, lava rising.
Right. That'd be nice.
So this is the second floor then? Second floor is empty. Yeah, where'd he go? Where'd you go? Our what old models buggy? I really like these, like giant vases. Very cool. Definitely something you'd smash up for loot. I like the look of it. Definitely has the feel of a dungeon sort of thing. I like those giant fires and the plumes of smoke coming off of them. That's pretty cool. What happened to Spike?
Can you hear me, Nero?
Yeah, what happened? Did you crash?
Yeah, I crashed.
Whoops. So this seems like a lot of space for the amount of actual puzzle that's going on in this first floor. Are you planning to add more to it or add some different paths to kind of trip people up?
Well, I was thinking about maybe on a couple floors, well, on one floor put like a maze, and then I could also half one of the upper rooms up there, and then that would give me twice the space there.
Okay.
But I tried to put some life to it and put some like murals on the walls, like the framing around it, and the pots.
The detail on it's really nice. The one thing that I guess looking up kind of looks a little weird, I had said this on a couple of the previous builds, the idea that bricks generally aren't used as a, building horizontally as a supporting sort of material, because enough weight from above and they just fall through no matter how good the, the plaster and stuff holding it together is. Bricks are...
What would you put on the second floors then? For the flooring.
Oh, you can still use brick for the floor, just on the underside that we're seeing here, just using the solid stone would probably work.
Okay, so like, because right now I think that's like the floor and the ceiling is like 2 layers thick, So two voxel sticks. So just on the ceiling part of it, just go ahead and do it like the wall texture.
Yeah, basically. And then you can always add more detail. Some of the metal sculpture pieces that you have, you could add some of those. You could put some fixtures with some chains and some cool looking things hanging down.
Okay.
Like some hanging fires or something, or some chain that's even going into the lava, and the lava's kind of creeping up a little, making it look like the chain itself is being pulled up, or that it's starting to melt.
Okay.
Some neat sorts of details. In terms of the puzzle aspect of it, I really like it, and I like that there's the potential danger factor once lava will do damage to us. It's for a first floor definitely is kind of a good introduction to what's to come with it.
Right, and I really can't wait for him to put into like the dungeon maker. That's what I'm really. So this is just for right now, just to keep me interested until that comes in.
Well, let's take.
And I wish
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I just wish we could put down mobs in some of these rooms.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I'm looking at. Is now that you mentioned that, there could be just a little bit more space made would make it a lot more deadly. For example, let me. So you see, now I'm a bow mob. You either have to fight me before you start, or I'm just going to be shooting at you the entire time when you try to get across. And because the platforms are so slow, I'm basically going to pick you off before you get to your destination. So that sort of thing, I could see adding places where not only there's creatures, but trying to set it up in such a way that you don't even see them until you get close enough. Like this guy right here, you could have maybe like a fire in front of them, or a fire coming off of this, or make the platform larger so you just don't have a line of sight on it until you kind of come over to that area there, at which point it kind of gets up and sneaks out from the little hiding spot that you've got in here, and then starts shooting. Or maybe it doesn't even have a hiding spot. You can actually make it just spawn when you get to a certain area. So there's stuff like that you can do. Extending some more of these platforms, so when you finally make the jump and get to them, there's slugs waiting for you to try to knock you off. Excuse me, not slug, slog. The AUG was apparently a mistake.
Right.
But yeah, there's that sort of stuff. This is going all the way to the edges of the claim space, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you kind of squished things in a little bit, or actually if you made some columns going all the way across along the side here, like basically, let me zoom in all the way. Like if you made a column here, you made a column here, you made a column here, made a few. Whoops.
You mean like in the corners?
Yeah, no, well, it's like basically it would be creating corners, actually, like making a column right here, for example, and then another one right here, maybe a few other ones along the way, so that way you can have little platforms with enemies hiding behind them, and you won't really be able to attack them until you actually get close to the area, so they can kind of ambush you.
Okay.
I would imagine when we get more control with the linking and trigger, we might be able to have fire actually come up and damage or destroy the sections of this bridge. So that would be a fun sort of component. When you get here, you have to kind of set it to walk mode and travel cautiously across it. Otherwise, flame's just going to jump right up from below you and take you out and take out the section of bridge.
Alright, that'd be a good idea.
And then whether or not the rising lava sort of thing would actually be a possibility, this would be the sort of place where you could actually have a like a boss creature of some sort. Or like a tougher creature, just extending the platform a little bit and giving it a little room. Maybe if there's some other traps or other things that could give it an advantage. Building it up so it's like, yeah, you made it. Now you've got to, you know, win the battle or just sneak by it.
Right, or put 2 guard statues, if they had guard statues, on either side of here.
Yeah. I'd imagine they'll eventually give us turrets and stuff like that, like, you know, things that shoot fire at you when you get too close. So that would definitely make sense. Very cool. So that's pretty much what you've got for right now is that first floor, which
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I was just gonna do a maze down there, but then I thought, well, that's my biggest room height-wise. So I wanted to do. Then I saw a picture of like someone did something of lava. So I thought, well, why not just have the whole floor like lava and have it where they have to jump, sort of like a jumping stuff, and then I can always do the maze type stuff up here.
Yeah, you know, actually, I think it might have been DaVinci's Landmarks of Landmark build that not Landmarks of Landmark, the Ruins team up rather, that had that kind of lava jumping maze kind of look to it. That was at least one I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, this could be really neat. Actually, something you can really do that's interesting with the shutters and the doors and linking and triggering is making puzzles where basically what paths you can actually go are relative to what buttons and switches you've pressed in different areas. So basically the only way you get through is you have to hit the switches in the right order or something. If you do it the wrong way, maybe you'll release some enemies that are actually hidden in some of those pockets, and maybe to show that you're actually going the right way, there'll be little special marks on the ground kind of showing that you're going into the correct place.
Right. Or, I mean, I saw some people do like a little box thing, where like a box opened up and they had furniture, like on the
Actually,
landmark thing.
Who
we could do like a...
Sorry, what I was going to say is the person who did that actually just showed up in chat. D-Man Clarity had something like that, the whole Polly Pocket thing, where it's a box and when you get close enough, it's a bachelor pad.
Right, well, what I was thinking about was doing like you could do it where if they put in a wrong combination, like a side of the wall opens up, and that's where the mobs come out of.
There you go. You could actually... Go ahead.
I was just saying, I just have to find someone who's a little bit more smarter than me with all that logic stuff, because that goes way over my head.
Well, they haven't even given us the logic functionality yet, so don't even worry about it too much. I would see something where you've got doors or portcullis or something that basically there's a bunch of them that open one at a time with more and more creatures behind them as people fail more. So you fail once, 2 things come after you. You fail twice, 4 things come at you. You fail 3 times, 6 things come at you, and 2 of them are even tougher versions.
Right, Right. Well, what I was thinking about maybe doing also is having like 3 doors with locks, and then that way it's like, okay, what door do I want? Sort of like the old TV, the old game show. Let's make a deal. We have like 3 choices, and then maybe eventually turn this into like a PvP area, and you let them in, you give them time delays, like 30 seconds, one at a time, to see who can get to the end the first.
That could be pretty fun. Yeah.
So like the first person make it through the first part of it, okay. Second person catches up with them in the maze.
That's a neat idea. Actually, I like having a lot of options provided for doors. The one other thing though is I'm wondering what features they're going to give us to prevent destruction on claims, because I see a lot of the space here. Somebody just going through with the staff and be like, "Oh, I'll just make my own path. Oh, the ceiling's only 2 voxels thick. Great. Well, I'll just bust my way to the next floor."
Right.
So, there's a lot of tools they need to give us before we can really truly design all the functionality for a dungeon. But they're coming. Anyway, we are at the 2-hour mark. In fact, we're going a little bit over at this point. So I'm going to go downstairs, go back out, take a screenshot of the place, and then going to be looking to wrap up the show here. So definitely great checking your place out here, Spikes. Let me know when you've done some more stuff with it. I'll definitely give it another look, check it out, give some feedback. I'm excited to see what you do with it. This is really cool. Not a lot of people are making, full-on interactive dungeon spaces right now. There's a lot of stuff that's interactive using leaking and triggering, but in terms of the full-on level designed dungeons, full-on events and stuff going on in them, a lot of folks haven't really touched on that too much yet. So I'm really glad to see this.
Well, thanks. And any feedback that you have, feel free to give it to me.
For sure. All right. So screenshot time, and then we wrap up. Oh, I don't think they did, D-Man. Did you submit something to customer support? Thingy. On. Oh, that's not on Adventure Kettle. Still on Adventure Kettle. Weird, D-Man. Maybe you should check reviruses and other things. You might have one of those. Alright, and as this sends, I am going to be looking to wrap it up here. It's a combination of the fact that I know there's not going to be a lot of people around because of the sports ball, and maybe I'm going to watch a little bit of it. Could also be blocking the game. Yeah, exactly. But this has been a lot of fun checking this stuff out, and I gotta say, this Kino stuff is gonna look really nice once we get all the materials and props and everything that they plan to give us, and we're gonna be seeing some amazing, amazing, amazing stuff out of it. I'm super excited. I hope you folks are too. A year of playing and building in Landmark, we've gone from making some real rough looking stuff, even if it looked nice, it still looked really rough, to some stuff that truly looks professional, some stuff that truly looks AAA. So we've gotten some amazing stuff in. We've had a great time over the past year, the year zero, as they called it. So here's to year one here. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to enjoying it with all of you folks out there. And on that note, I am wrapping up. Thank you all very much for coming. See you later.